Now, what we're going to start off with is something that we normally don't react to on our channel, but I'm doing today, and I'll explain why in a minute. So, Ironmouse just announced today, I think a few hours ago, that she is leaving VShojo. Normally, I don't touch topics like this, but the reason for her leaving is incredibly impactful, and I wanted to talk about it. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and full screen this, and I'm gonna be really honest. This pissed me off. Not Ironmouse, not her. She's an absolute sweetheart. Let's just get into it.
I am leaving VShojo. Unfortunately, I recently found out that for the past couple of months, I have been misled by VShojo. With the information that I currently have, I believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds, which I have not been paid. And most importantly, the thing that hurts me the most is that the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which is the most important charity to me, and also the reason why I'm here today, is owed over $500,000 from VShojo.
Ironmouse is an incredible VTuber. She's had the mental fortitude to do everything that she does. And she's so iconic because regardless of her immune deficiency and the inability that she has to like leave, she found a way to break out of that box and find friends for herself. And VShojo, when I started VTubing, I looked at VShojo like this absolute icon of a company. And how, like, you know, all the VTubers involved in VShojo were just like good friends. Like, just they all like give off the impression that they're just all amazing friends. And like I looked at that and I was like, man, like I want that one day. Like the ability to just make friends and, you know, do that in some kind of space. Because as a mom, and you know, it it is so hard to break out of completely different situations. I'm not comparing myself to Ironmouse at all. I completely understand and empathize with just wanting friends so bad. When I became a mom, it was so isolating because I didn't have friends that were also, you know, in my same walks of life, and things fall apart and grow apart, and you know, you move on. And I've moved several times in my life as well, being a married mom. And so just having friends and having, you know, people to be, you know, in common with, you know, it's hard. It's hard to make friends as adults. Yeah, 100%. I absolutely relate to just wanting to find a space to find friends. But, you know, what's devastating about this is that, like, VShojo, I think, was viewed as a very trusted company with so many VTuber companies that, you know, kind of pop up and exist, and the way that they take advantage of their talents. And it's not all companies, not all corpos are like this, but a big majority of VTuber corpos have turned into this place where they unfortunately take advantage of VTubers. And they have more lawyers and they have more power, and VTubers are kind of, you know, just told to shut up and take it, regardless of like what form that abuse comes in. And it's really unfortunate. It's really sad to see it when so many of these VTubers just want to make friends. They just want to be in a space where they can make friends with other VTubers who want the same things as they do. They want to be able to stream together and entertain and make content. And so it's so sad to see that VShojo became a company that was no better. You know what I mean? Like, it really sucks to see because, I mean, even I aspired to, like, one day, like, It would have been cool to be part of VShojo. And as of a couple of hours ago, I'd wanted to be in VShojo, and it's like, oh, no. So, but let's go ahead and continue.
I know that this is a lot, and it's very important for me to be honest with all of you. I really want to tell you everything, but unfortunately, right now, I have been instructed by my attorney to wait for more of the legal procedure to unfold. So one day, I will be able to tell you the full story.
I think it's so nice that Mouse can actually lawyer up and prepare herself for this situation, because VShojo taking away $500,000 to a charity that's supposed to help people just like her is criminal. It's absolutely criminal.
But for now, I just need to let you know that I will no longer be a part of VShojo. If you give me a moment of your time, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I know for a lot of people right now that this might be the first time you're ever watching me. I became a VTuber because I really wanted to make friends. I was very lonely due to the fact that I have a primary immune deficiency disease called CVID. I basically have a...
So we'll go ahead and pause this really quick, but CVID is a relatively frequent form of primary immunodeficiency. It's found in 1 out of 25,000 people, and this is the reason it's called common. The degree and type of deficiency of serum, I can't say that name. Immunoglobulins, I think that's how I say it. Immunoglobulins. I know that the word globule comes from blood, so like immune and blood. Anyway, and the clinical course varies from person to person, hence the word variable. An additional characteristic is a decreased IgA and or IgM level, or a low level of all 3 major types of immunoglobulins. So in some individuals, there are defects of T cells, and this may also contribute to increased susceptibility to infections, as well as autoimmunity. So for disease and cancer as well. Okay.
Low to near non-functioning immune system, which means I get sick a lot, and it caused me to remain isolated for long periods of my life. So then I found streaming, and I thought about giving it a try because I wanted to see if I could make some friends online, because I honestly couldn't ever leave my room. I never really expected to grow an audience or anything. It was one of the last things on my mind. I just thought that I would stream to, 5 to 10 people and just hang out from time to time, make some friends, play games, and just continue on with my life. But unfortunately, I was too scared to stream with my face. So a friend of mine recommended that I try an app called FaceRig that would allow me to use an anime avatar to stream. And that's how I started VTubing. It took me a while to take it seriously and even begin to think about maybe being able to grow a community and even make this a career. I think I really started to take it seriously around the time when I was approached to join VShojo, and it was through VShojo that I was able to grow into the Ironmouse that I am today. When I was approached in 2020 and asked to join VShojo, it seemed like a good idea, but I honestly did not know if I could ever be a corpo VTuber because I felt like I just couldn't. In my mind, I saw myself as unhireable, which is why streaming worked for me. I had no boss, no strict rules, I had no hours, no expectations. It was all up to me, and due to the fact that I have lived my life chronically ill and being unable to do much of anything, I just felt like there was no way that anyone would ever take me or want me.
This is why I'm saying that she's such an inspiration, because Ironmouse broke all of the rules. in terms of like being stuck where she was. She struggles with this her entire life, and she's still able to achieve like so much beyond what she thought was possible, which is so inspirational, like to everyone, like to every VTuber. And so she has incredible respect for me. But yeah, no, and we're gonna continue.
For a while, I was struggling to make a decision because I was afraid about my anonymity and afraid about trusting people because I felt like every time I put my trust in people, it always ends in grief for me. So I was worried about expectations and a million and one other things. But I ultimately decided to join VShojo. It really pains me that I am unable to fully explain why I am leaving. But for right now, here's what I am allowed to share with you. I would always be told how important I was for the company, and I was always told that I was needed in order for the company to succeed. Although that was very positive to hear, it put a lot of pressure and a lot of stress on me to the point where I felt guilt tripped into signing. I felt responsible for everybody. I felt responsible for staff and talent alike. And I felt like if I didn't do this and if I didn't stay, I was hurting everybody.
That's so sad. Like Ironmouse felt like she had to stay. Like she felt trapped because like if, you know, if she left, then it would be like basically the downfall of everybody else. But like and I think that that's why so many streamers, so many VTubers from VShojo need support more than ever. And I know that Zentreya had talked about it on her Twitter, and you know, she was saying that, you know, the VTubers from VShojo are kind of going through it. You know, this is absolutely catastrophic, and this shouldn't affect like the way that we perceive the VTubers. The VTubers in VShojo
Mama
are
will
definitely the
always
victims
love
here.
you.
And I think now more than ever, you know, we should support the VTubers that are in VShojo because like I feel like just as to be like, yeah, it's to basically to prove that Ironmouse is not responsible for, you know, all of their careers. Does that make sense? Does that make sense when I'm trying to, like, she feels so responsible for, like, everyone in VShojo, but, like, you know, she was like, well, and I have to remove myself from this situation. So, yeah, all of the VTubers in VShojo definitely need support that way.
And I was destroying everybody's life, but this didn't feel right with me, and I began to feel extremely uncomfortable. As my viewers know, privacy has always been one of my biggest concerns. I've had a lot of scary experiences in my life, so one amazing thing for me was the fact that VShojo handled all my payments, and it meant that I never had to give out any of my personal information, so that was always a blessing to me. As time went on, I decided that I wanted to try.
This was one of the things that was such an incentive for joining a corpo, and so many VTubers can relate to
You are the
this.
sweetest little cutie pie.
Where VTubers want the safety of a corpo because it means that they can be more anonymous. When you join a VTuber corpo, they represent you in such a big way. They talk to all of your artists, they talk to people in conventions, they talk to charities, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. VShojo was handling everything for her. They were representing her. She trusted them. And, you know, she did for a number of years. And so we continue.
To start pulling out my remaining funds because I wanted to start taking over my own finances. This is what led me to this point. Throughout the years, Connor and I have raised around $4 million for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. The majority of the money raised is through Tiltify at events like the cyclothon, the charity auction, and other miscellaneous events that we've had. However, because of the success of my first subathon, I decided to donate half the earnings of my following two subathons to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. The first time I
Which is
tried
an
this,
incredible
it
W.
worked great. Over 200,000 people supported me, and because of that, we raised over $329,350 to the Immune Deficiency Foundation.
I don't know if you guys knew, but Mouse set a record for Twitch, being like the highest subathon, like goal-wise, highest number of subs like in Twitch history for like a moment. Her record was beat eventually by I think it was Kai Cenat. Kai Cenat? I don't remember how to say his name. Kai. Anyway, but for a little bit she was like reigning. She beat an entire record for like everyone, and it was crazy. And then she took that half of that money and donated it to charity. Kai Cenat, am I saying it right? Okay. But half of that money, $500,000 to charity.
Because the money came from my Twitch revenue instead of a Tiltify link, it required VShojo to make the donation on my behalf. They promptly sent the payment, and the subathon was a huge success. So I decided to do it again the next year. My last subathon was one of the biggest events I've ever done. The support was overwhelming, and I ended up getting over 300,000 subscribers and breaking the all-time
Which is
sub record.
amazing. That's incredible.
But this also meant that we had raised
for a VTuber too.
$515,000 for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I once again asked VShojo to make the donation on my behalf, but unfortunately, still a year later, VShojo has not paid the charity. The Immune Deficiency Foundation means the world to me. Connor and I have both spent a ton of energy, time, and resources raising money for charity. And we're both so proud to be able to say that we've raised nearly $4 million for charity. We almost always raise money for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. They help people with primary immune deficiency diseases, or PI, which are inherited disorders where a part of the body's immune system is missing or doesn't function properly, which makes people like me more prone to infection. And this includes over 450 different conditions. The Immune Deficiency Foundation is a charity that is near and dear to my heart and has a particular significance in my life. When my health first started getting really bad, the Immune Deficiency Foundation helped me immensely when I really had nowhere else to turn. I was terrified, I was lonely, and I was confused. I honestly didn't really know what was going on, and I never ever want anyone else to go through that. This entire situation has broken me. I just wanted to do something good and to give back to a community that helped me. But unfortunately, that's not the case. As much as I would like to continue to talk about this, unfortunately, I can't. So, to recap, I believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds, which I have not been paid. And most importantly, the Immune Deficiency Foundation is owed over $500,000 from VShojo. I really wish that I could tell you more, but right now, I have been advised to wait for legal proceedings.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that's just straight up embezzlement. It's extremely illegal. Like, charity fraud. Out of what was supposed to be one of the most respectable VTuber companies there are. It is so sad to see this happen. Yeah. No, when I saw this originally, I was absolutely speechless too, because you would think that VShojo would have had more integrity than that. For the cause, knowing how much Ironmouse, how much it meant to Ironmouse, knowing who she is, it's absolutely greedy. It's We're gonna keep watching. You
As of
are the
right now,
sweetest little cutie
I am
pie.
an independent VTuber. At a loss of what to do right now. I'm kind of processing everything. I'm very sad and very confused. Once again, I want to apologize to the Immune Deficiency Foundation and to my community who has shown so much support to me. I also wanted to say that all the ad money made from this video will go towards the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. Like I said, I really haven't had much time to process this. But below the video,
You are
in
the
description
sweetest little
box is
cutie
a
pie.
link to a donation fund for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Thankfully, any donations made through Tiltify go directly to the charity. That link is also there if you've heard about this.
So another thing that we're going to be doing, because I know that I said that I wanted to react to this, I wanted to react specifically to show support. I want to take the link that Ironmouse is talking about for the Tiltify account. We will definitely also be putting it on the description of our video when we post this on YouTube as well. But I also want to give you guys that ability to donate through her Tiltify specifically. If you guys could pin that for me, please. There's a lot that Ironmouse isn't saying, but I definitely don't think that she would be taking this lightly if it wasn't like a for sure thing that like VShojo was like not giving that money to that charity. It's a big, big deal. I don't know what the time has been like. The timeline on her not seeing the funds properly put where they need to be. She recently tweeted, semi-recently tweeted that she had stood up for herself. And now that we see this video, it's probably because of the charity. Probably her talking against VShojo, wondering where that money went, realizing that it was not going to go where it needed to, and that she was going to quit. And that was probably the moment where she stood up for herself. I mean, that's me speculating. But if I had to guess that that's where that tweet came from, it's because of this situation. So.
And would like to support the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Sometime this month, I plan on doing a special live stream in order to raise money for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I hope to have a ton of friends joining me, and hopefully there'll be a lot of singing and a lot of fun and just a day full of happiness. I just honestly really want to show that after all of this, that VTubing is a force for good. So thank you guys so much for all the support, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. And once again, I want to say that I am truly sorry. Okay.
She has nothing to be sorry for. She has nothing to be sorry for. She stood up for herself. She stood on her values and her morals and, you know, the foundation that she believed in. And she's leaving VShojo because she has high morals. They took money that was supposed to go to people that needed it. And she said, absolutely not. So she has nothing to feel sorry for. I mean, she's just proving that there are good VTubers who have good intentions and want to do good things for their community and for other people. Yeah, I don't think she has anything to feel sorry for.
Bye-bye.
I appreciate you guys like sticking with me through this. I know I normally don't get into really deep conversations like this, but I think that it needed to be called out. I think that VShojo needed to be called out in this way because what they did was wrong. It was wrong. And this is honestly the death of VShojo. For me and so many others. Because even if they decided, okay, we'll give the money to the charity. It's too late. Your integrity is gone. Nobody respects you anymore. If they give it back now at this point, it's like, oh, I got caught. My hands are up. Let me give the money back. So there's just no coming back from that. None. It's not worth it. But like I said, I wanted to show my support too. So if you would like to donate to Ironmouse's Tiltify for that, for the Immune Deficiency Foundation, it would mean a lot to me, and we'll put it in the description of our YouTube video as well. So